Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me again today on River and Rune. So thank you guys for stopping by again and for joining me once more. I know I have taken some time to get back to these videos. I've been taking the opportunity to do some more family work, being with the family in Puerto Rico, doing some internal stuff, really utilizing the energies at play in order to make some larger changes in how I want to engage with you all, engage with the community, engage with myself and the spiritual practices that I do and how I'm able to offer them. So don't be surprised if you see some changes on the channel. I'm thinking of changing the name and making it a little bit more cohesive and incorporating different aspects of my own spiritual work and my own life. And the ways in which I enjoy philosophizing and speaking on mythology and spirituality. So I'll be including those videos soon. So big changes on the horizon. The horizon being like this week, next week, at least that's the hope. So thank you guys again for your constant support, for being here, for stopping by and sharing some time with me. As you guys know, I'm gonna get to the runes shortly. But of course, I'd like to get back to the Celtic calendar energy that I do enjoy. So tomorrow we actually begin the month of Rowan, and Rowan is a very powerful tree. It is considered the tree of Bridget. It is her sacred tree, or one of her sacred trees, oak being the other one. That's why I got everything here out of oak. But Rowan is considered a very protective tree. It has often been linked with intuition, with very powerful spiritual energy, and oftentimes many people across the northern hemisphere would use Rowan for that purpose, to protect themselves, to protect their homes, to connect to its spiritual principle, and then utilize it effectively. So this month of Rowan, which begins tomorrow up until February 17th, we're going to be looking at the movement of energy in this Celtic lunar phase. This movement of power where we are connecting more to our intuition, connecting more to the qualities that we have that lead us in life, and also to focus a little bit more on protecting ourselves, protecting our boundaries, protecting what matters to us, because that's something that I don't think many people talk about. I'm gonna just take a quick sip of my tea, because it is winter. But we're actually heading to Beltane, which is one of my favorite, besides the winter solstice. Beltane, which is coming up May 1st. That's a little bit of a ways, but I'm excited for it. But actually what I meant to say was February 1st, which is Imbolc, so it's much closer. And Imbolc is the sacred festival for Bridget, and it's the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And so there's a lot of symbolism behind February 1st arriving, because it really means that we're basically halfway through winter. Well, just about. So that's pretty fun. That is very fun and very exciting, because that means we're getting closer to spring and summer. What else? The ruling planet of this month is also Uranus. As I like to pronounce it, Uranus is the planet of ingenuity, of progress, of rebellion. This kind of like, he's the sky god. And so as such, he's connected to Aquarius's energy. And it is about innovation, creativity, but the kind of innovation and creativity that breaks through tradition, that breaks through orthodoxy in order to reach practice, in order to reach new methodologies of creating, new methods of relating to oneself and to one's world. So we're gonna do a pretty standard week ahead reading to see what the runes have to say for us. But yes, so we're starting that lunar month tomorrow, the month of Rowan, connecting to the energies of protection and intuition, especially poignant given that Uranus had just left retrograde. So now we're focusing a lot of our energy back into how we can utilize our creativity to spice up the norm, to make the things happen that we always wanted to happen, you know? Okay, now we get into it. So, before we even get into it, I feel like a lot of us have been very tired recently. Very tired. Very tired. There's a lot of, I just had a vision of seeing people laying down, of taking time to rest, of being cuddled up in a blanket. So if you have been feeling a little bit low on energy, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because it happens on all kinds of planes, right? It's not just physical exhaustion. Oftentimes physical exhaustion is the last barrier in terms of our overall holistic health. I tend to look at it as our spiritual energy becomes exhausted first, then our emotional energy becomes exhausted, then our mental energy becomes exhausted until it finally reaches the physical space. So our physicality, the tiredness of our matter, at that point already implies to me that the rest of those levels have already been exhausted. So since I see a lot of that physical exhaustion, please do take the time to drink water, to eat well, to make sure that you are getting enough nutrition during the day, especially getting some time out in the sun when it is available for those of us in the northern hemisphere, because with the shorter days, the lack of sunlight can really affect us. So do take that opportunity to find some sunlight, to find a sun lamp, drink water, rest when your body is telling you to rest, when you are able, because I know many of us are working hard in 2 or 3 jobs, or really doing what we need to do to make sure that our bills are paid and things happen as they need to. So I understand that that is a large part of our day and a large part of what we do. So when you do have the opportunity, please allow yourself that time of rest. So with that said, the energy of this week ahead is quite unique because we don't have any runes except for Berkano. That's it. All we have is Berkano. Berkano's energy is infusing the entirety of this week. So, despite the physical tiredness, despite this feeling of needing to rest, of sitting down, of allowing ourselves the time to sleep a little bit longer, to go to bed a little bit earlier, whatever it is that we need in order to rest, I do see that during this week, at this time, there is a great sense of creativity, a great sense of birth happening. There's a lot of hopefulness in the week, so I wouldn't be surprised if over the weekend you may be very busy, either with family stuff or seeing doctors, or really getting on top of things that you feel that you may have needed to get on top of for a while. For example, if some of you do own a business, you're going to be really sitting down and being like, I feel inspired to work on this. I feel inspired to really sit down and put a lot of my effort into making this happen. Or I feel inspired to call my doctor because I know I've been having this pain in my knee, so let me go talk to them. Or I feel inspired to really put my spiritual health first, so this weekend I'm going to take the opportunity to meditate, to journal, to dive deeper into the internal processes that I have and find out what's really makes me tick, right? So whatever it is, I do feel like there's a lot of hopefulness, there's a lot of openness starting from today, heading into the weekend until we get back on Wednesday. But Berkano's energy is fusing all of this and it percolates through the week. So take the opportunity when you can to observe where birth wants to happen in your life, where renewal wants to happen in your life. Oftentimes birth and renewal come just after death, right? It comes after the precursor of that moment where matter starts to fall apart, where the things that we feel start to fade, or just before that pain shifts into an opening of something new, right? So I am seeing moments throughout the week where you will come in contact with parts of yourself that have been old or withered, or parts of you that you have not looked at in a while. Things that perhaps you once thought were taboo and you kind of like put it in the back of your mind, or things, parts of yourself, whether it's your creativity or spirituality, whatever it is, that have been put on the back burner, and now they're coming to the forefront of your mind, especially with Uranus going direct. There's a lot of this energy pointing towards, go to that thing, embrace it, see what it asks of you, and put it to rest, because from that loam, right, will rise something new, something beautiful will burst forth from it, but you have to put it to rest. So Berkano, with all of this hopefulness, is suggesting some very beautiful things for the week ahead. So take your time to rest, take your time to reflect on the things that you want to grow in your life, and put that energy forward, especially with the energies in place, celestially speaking. And yeah, so that's what I see for the week ahead. Thank you guys for joining me again for another quick rune reading. I do appreciate it. Like and subscribe below. It really does help. And please feel free to comment. I love to hear how you guys are doing. I'm looking forward to making some new videos and taking some new direction for the channel. So if you have any ideas or something that you want to talk about, or even a reading that you want to see, let me know. I'll be happy to hear about it. So thank you guys for joining me again. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys taking some time to hang out with me. And I'll see you guys next week here on the channel. All right? Bye, everyone.